We've all been told by our teachers to use the stability ball for our breathing and for our singing. In this week's episode, we're going to talk a little bit more about how you can really utilize these and why it works for your body.
So the stability ball is a lot of fun. Just getting on the ball and bouncing around really feels good, and for no other reason, that's a reason to do it. But the reason that a stability ball is excellent for both the upper and the lower body is that because it almost provides a reset for both our pelvic floor and our rib cage. Okay, and what I mean by that is we stand on hard floors all day. Okay, and we stand idle all day. Okay, and in my work in my gym, I work with women that have had prolapse, which means that we have a pelvic floor that is descended under the weight of the downward pressure, can't push back up. One of the applications of the stability ball is that by bouncing on the ball, we can start to kind of create this natural lift to help to alleviate that downward pressure. For singers as well, it's a really good way to help to reset the pelvic floor to start to gain motion of the diaphragm and the pelvic floor again. So it's one application we're going to talk about today. The other thing that is excellent for this stability ball is performing actions with our rib cage and our pelvis on the ball, because the unstable nature of the ball helps to sort of reset our proprioceptive mechanisms that help our body to sense our pelvis and to sense our rib cage. And so going back to the whole thing where if we have a tight pelvic floor, a tight kind of butt that's gripping all the time, gently rocking back and forth on the stability ball will help to coax open that area and start to restore motion there, as well as in a rib cage where we have a rectus that is overactive. So I'm going to teach you guys some simple exercises that you can help to do, some relaxed movement to help to reset these areas before you sing, to kind of open everything up and assist with getting a deep breath in. So when it comes to the pelvis, one of my favorite applications of the stability ball is kind of like a governor for the way that we're able to tilt our pelvis as well as our sacrum. I work with a lot of singers with issues with things like dysphonia or pelvic floor issues that have this sort of sway back posture where they're here and here. So we have a pelvis that's super swayed forward, we have a rib cage that's sort of super swayed back. And so when I sit on the stability ball, okay, what this is gonna do is help to kind of lock my pelvis into place and give me the ability to move it just enough, but not, excessively. So I can sit on the ball, I can sort of rock back without myself doing this. I can stay centered over the ball. I can just focus on the movement of my pelvis. I can bring it into a little bit of an anterior tilt. I can feel my tailbone sort of tip up, my sacrum tip up. I can breathe in this position, just take a couple breaths in. Kind of open this area up. I can also reach forward to open my chest wall. And then I could just work on restoring the dynamic motion by kind of going back and coming forward. But notice these are very small movements. The ball goes forward, the ball travels back. So I can inhale as I go back, open this area up, exhale as I go forward. And just doing those little things helps to act as a reset so that we can then stand up, maybe hold the ball in front of us and then just work on the same thing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So when it comes to the upper body, the other really useful thing that I find with the application of the stability ball is elevation and protraction of the rib cage. What I mean by that is when we're in this sort of sway back posture where the rib cage gets stuck down, we have trouble opening things back up so we can descend and ascend the diaphragm properly. So the weight of the ball is actually really useful to help to kind of open this up again. I'm going to show you guys sort of a graded way to do this with the ball on the wall, on the floor, and then standing. So what I like to do is I'll take the ball, I'm using the wall to sort of de-weight me, but kind of guide my arms up, okay? And so for somebody that has a lot of like upper trap issues or things where we're getting a lot of tension up here, I'm pushing into the ball, pushing the wall away from this. It's gonna kind of help to de-weight me a little bit. So as I inhale and I raise the ball overhead, okay, I'm getting just enough elevation that I can kind of open this area up. I can up pump handle my sternum. I exhale, I come back down, but I do so without coming under, okay? So the ball is kind of acting just as with the lower body, a governor in that sense. I come up, I breathe in, I come down, I exhale, helping to sort of reestablish the opening and closing of my rib cage, okay? We could do the same thing in a plank position on the ground, Much more challenging, very much a progression, but again, same idea. I would breathe in as I go forward, keeping my shoulder blades apart. Exhale as I go down. The ball is kind of acting to kind of keep my body straight, my eyes there on the horizon. Okay, the other thing that I like in standing as well is I can do something where I come into a split stance, bring the ball above my head, either in double leg or single leg. I inhale, breathe in, bring my body, open my chest up. I exhale, bring the ball back to the horizon. So getting this nice big stretch, bring the ball back down, and helping to open everything up. So this kind of makes a nice series where I might do, the ball on the wall and then the ball in standing, or venture to the ground followed by the exercise in standing.